set up in the apple orchard. We've had some rain in the last couple of days. It stopped yesterday or overnight. It's a bit overcast, but it's in the low 80s and the humidity's up in the 90s. So it's a little, it's a little muggy. But it's Georgia at the first of the fall into summer, so one of those things you have to deal with. At least last year, the open a few weekends were up in the mid 90s, so hey, 82 doesn't sound so bad. So I'm gonna be quiet because these deer are gonna be out in the orchard here. I'll show you what it looks like here in a minute. So with the longbow, it's gonna be a close range affair. So hoping the hex suit works out tonight, but there's normally between 4 and 6 of them, so I'm gonna have a lot of eyes to fool.
Well, the rest of bow season never cooled off enough to have good scent control, and neither did the opening day of gun season. So I waited until the last weekend in October when the weather was right so that I didn't spoil any of my good hunting spots. And when this chocolate 8-pointer followed a doe into my scent post, it was looking like that was going to be a good strategy. Unfortunately, as I'm bringing the gun up to take the shot, they're leaving. And there's no way I can pick them up through all this thick stuff. Now, as it turned out, what happened, I was trying to run 2 cameras. This is the view from the second camera. I was going to get a wide angle shot and a close-up shot. But the doe over in the lower right-hand corner of the picture in cam 2 was watching me turn it on the whole time. Another deer saved by the camera.
I just hit my grunt call. There was a deer standing right behind me. 2 does and a shooter bug. I've already had 1 shooter bug chase a doe in here this morning. And she was sniffing around down there. The wind is swirling in here. They took off back up the creek that way. It's so thick they get on me before I get to see them.
After having seen an 8-pointer and a 9-pointer the previous morning, as well as 2 8-pointers chasing a doe up the street, I thought things were looking pretty good the next day when a 2.5-year-old 8-pointer came in and was looking behind him. Well, it wasn't anything bigger. It was this 3-point. Now, the 8-point buck snuck down here into the bushes when this 3-point was coming in. That's what kind of got my hopes up, thinking something bigger was there. But once the 3-pointer came in and the 8-pointer saw that it wasn't a bigger buck, well, he decided to go back up underneath that oak tree that was dropping. And then the 3-pointer decided, well, he didn't really want any part of the 8-pointer. So they had a little bit of a standoff and circled each other. And the 3-pointer decided, well, I'm just going to let the 8-pointer eat those acorns. I'm going to come back later. Wasn't anything I wanted to shoot at the time, but it sure was entertaining to watch. And sure enough, about 30 minutes after the 8-pointer fed off, the 3-pointer decided he would come back and eat the leftovers. It was kind of fun watching nature and dominance among the herd play out right in front of my eyes. Still, didn't pull the trigger on either one of these 2 bucks.
It's the second day of the Piedmont hunt, and thankfully today I remembered my SD card. And it's in the like 54 degrees, so it is not very cool. And I think that may have suppressed some of the activity. Saw one spike yesterday, and there was, some shooting in the morning when it was cooler, but in the afternoon, I only heard one shot, and there's 1,250 hunters out here, so I saw my one deer in the morning time, so I'm hoping the morning is when I'll get a chance. I made a mock scrape right over there. Hopefully any buck going to bed will swing by there and maybe get a sniff or something. But can't shoot them from the cabin. All right, well, fingers crossed. We'll give it a go.
Well, I gave it a go for 3 days. But this buck followed a doe across the road, and I couldn't get him stopped until he was behind a tree, and all I could see was his rear end. And that pretty much sums up the way my Piedmont hunt went.
Well, since Saturday, I saw for just a split second a doe for maybe 2 seconds. I didn't see anything Sunday. I didn't see anything Monday, and I didn't see anything this morning. And I've hunted at the orchard. I've hunted at the house, at the home farm. I've hunted twice at the boat seat, which is not unusual for me to see 14 to 16 deer out of that stand in one sitting. But with the loggers coming in here this year, they clear cut about a third of the property, and then the mills filled up because of the COVID crisis. They can't get enough workers to keep the mill running, so they pulled out of here. So I got a big section out of the center cut, but I didn't know how far they were going to go, so I didn't spend any money putting food plots in around by the boat seat, which is normally one of their favorite places. The soil down there is really nice. So I found a place over here where it looks like a super highway, and there's a really big split toe, and I figure that the big 6 Becca's buck is definitely over 200 on the hoof, and could be making that. So maybe things have changed and they're coming out and getting out into the clear cut here. There is a lot of browse starting to just kind of pop up. It's only about this tall, so I know it's very succulent. So and the weather has been abnormally hot, mid to high 70s. Wednesday, which is tomorrow, is supposed to be like 80 degrees, middle of November. Cool front comes in next week after my vacation is over, and every day but Friday has a 50 to 60% chance of rain or higher. Friday is only 20, but it's going to still be hot until Monday. And then, hey, I'm back to work, just in that nick of time. But according to the rut schedule, November the 12th was supposed to be prime rut in my where my orchard and my home farm are, and November 14th, 2 days difference down here in Talbot County. So I am going to take my secret Piedmont weapon right there, my portable ladder stand, and I'm going to go set it up on that super highway. I may not be able to film for you guys because of the rain coming in. I don't want to, you know, ruin a couple $1,000s worth of camera gear, but I can't wait, because after this week I'm down to like Thanksgiving, and so then you get into the Christmas season, so it's kind of getting to be now or never. I waited, and 2 weeks ago it was weather in the 40s. I saw 8 different 7 8-pointers and 1 9-pointer, so 8 different bucks, 8 points or better, and messed up on one I was going to shoot. I let the others go, and I don't know, I might not get anything on camera for you this year. I don't know, counting on the rest of the guys to maybe pull through. But I'm going to do a wild hair. I'm going to put the stand up and give it a run. We'll see what happens. I'll take the camera if the weather is me okay. Alright, let me run.
As good as this ladder stand looked, I never saw a single deer out of this particular stand. Even though there's a 4-inch rub on a cedar tree right there, and here's a scrape and a broken licking branch. Still no deer.
Alright, since my normal spot did not get a food plot planted on it this year, the deer have been staying away from it. And on my reconnaissance sit out here on the clear cut, I saw 4 does. They were out munching around in the clear cut, and I found a sure enough worn out trail that was leading over here to the clear cut. And so I'm going to set that down while I talk. It's kind of heavy. And so I am going to set up shop out here. I'll show you in a minute where I can kind of see both directions and maybe down along this edge. But that trail that I found is kind of from a bedding area, and they're crossing over and headed right towards the clear cut. So the area where I've been prone to see 12 to 16 deer in one set has not had a deer in there since Sunday. Since Sunday I've had 6 pictures, and they were all on Sunday, none on Monday. And so what I'm going to do is set this up out here on the clear cut where I can kind of see where I saw an 8-point buck go, a place we used to call the super highway when there were trees all over it. They still seem to be using it, and I'm always a firm believer that terrain dictates things as much as cover. All things being equal, they'll do cover and terrain together, but in the absence of cover, they'll use terrain to hide themselves. That's how they hide out west where there's no trees. So we're supposed to have a pretty good rainstorm come through, and the boat seat is covered but doesn't have any deer. So I'm going to set up my ground blind out here, so in the morning if it's raining I'll at least have a place to come sit. I don't see very many deer in the rain. I've never killed one in the rain, so hopefully with the amount of distance I can cover, if there's a stray doe out here, maybe Big Six will come looking for it. It's the only shooter buck I've got right now, and like I said, he is well over 200 pounds on the hoof, well over that. And so he has been a 6-pointer for a number of years. He's finally got 7 this year, so he's now legal in the county I hunt in. And he's pretty much kept all the other bucks with the pretty antlers run down. So I'm hoping to get a crack on him so that I get some nice racked bucks backfill on me here. So that's the game plan. I'm gonna go set up the ground blind, and then I'll show you kind of what it looks like over there. So that's how I'm gonna maybe hopefully thwart the rain and thwart the lack of activity over at my primo hunting spot. And although it looks like a barren clear cut, this right here, look at this. All that succulent little new growth, see all that little new growth coming up? It is all out in here. I mean, it's November, but it's unseasonably warm. So all these little briars and stuff like that, all of this new growth here is all very succulent. You can see right over there, see it popping out there, some grasses. So there is a veritable smorgasbord for the deer. There's even some more browse right there. So even though this looks like a barren landscape, if you look up through there, there's a whole grocery basket for them. So that might be why they're not in my traditional spots. This whole area here is nothing but a big giant food plot grown by nature. Huh. Saves a lot on diesel and seed and fertilizer. But you can't clear cut it every year, I don't suppose. All right, I gotta go get washed up. I'm 79 degrees, I'm a little sweaty. November the 10th, I think it is. And I'm sweating like it's bow season. Well, we had a little COVID situation at the at the homestead, so I am staying in the camper down at Moonshadow Lodge, and tonight we are gonna have us some chunky soup. And I brought my bushcraft and stuff, and I got my little alcohol stove going, warming up my chunky soup. I'll let you know when it's soup. Well, all right, we got soup. When I found out we had a positive COVID test in the house, I was over at another property, so I didn't really come inside and pack up a whole lot of stuff. I ran out to the shop and I grabbed my bug out bag, and I bugged out. Woo, boy, I got that about full. That's what you call a full bowl of soup. But anyway, so I'm not going to hold it up to you and show you. But anyway, I grabbed my bushcraft bags and my bug out bags, and I headed for the lodge here, my hunting camp. And so I got me some soup and my backpacking and bushcrafting stoves, and I'm going to have me a little meal down here. Wow, who said quarantining is all bad? Steak and potato. That's a do-over. Wow, that was pretty good. I get tired of sirloin burger. I think steak and potato is my new favorite. Alright, well, I gotta finish eating and get some sleep. I haven't seen any deer in the last 3 days, so I gotta go dream about them. But I've got my ground blind set up for the morning. Supposed to be raining, 90% chance. And then some thunderstorms. Thunderstorms in November. What is wrong with this week? It was cold the week before I went on vacation. It's supposed to get cold the week after I go. I guess I didn't time that out right. But I'm here, and they scheduled a project around my time off, so I can't swap up. It is what it is. I'll make the most of it. Maybe that big six will make a mistake at some point, and we'll be there again. Anyway, time to fuel up and get some sleep. See you in the morning. It's raining and sun shining and 80 degrees on November the 11th, sitting in a ground blind in the sun in full camo. Deer cast is poor. Makes you wonder what you're doing here. What am I doing here? I think I'm going to pack it up and head to the house and regroup. Should have taken vacation next week. That's all I got to say about that.
I hunted every morning and every afternoon of my 11 days off and endured windstorms, followed by beautiful sunrises, albeit no deer activity. I got to sit through blinding rainstorms. I got to watch squirrels frolic in the trees above me. I got to watch hens scratching for water oak acorns. I wonder where they're going to be next spring, though. I got to watch summer turn to autumn. The Drury app told me my vacation time was going to be poor or just okay. But when I go back to work next week, it's going to be good. And so, as the sun set on my 11-day vacation, I didn't have any deer to show for my effort. Due to a positive COVID test in the house, I lived in my camper the following week and worked from there. On Thursday, I went down and installed a new camera arm in the boat seat. I was hoping I was going to get some pictures because the sun was beginning to set on my season. I had another weekend to go. After installing the new camera arm, I saw a deer down at the far end of the sendero here, and I saw an 8 or 9 inch tine. The wind was blowing from the left to the right, and so he was scent checking for does, is what I expect. But since there were none, he left, and I didn't really get him on film. He just vanished into the woods. I was hoping this was going to be a good sign for tomorrow, though.
Well, it's the Friday before Thanksgiving, and I've only got like 2 more weeks before I get into Christmas camping trips and that kind of stuff. Probably still get to do some hunting around the house, but my shooter bugs have, like, in the last couple of weeks just disappeared. I know the neighbor over the orchard shot one and lost it, and then shot another and got it. But there was one more running around over there, and it's disappeared. All the bugs at the house have kind of disappeared. And down here at Moonshine Lodge, all my big bugs disappeared, but then this past Monday, I got 2 new ones in, but I've got 3 bugs, a 6.5-year-old, a 4.5-year-old, and a 2.5-year-old that are all 7-pointers. So I believe I got a gene issue, and the 6.5-year-old buck is over 200 pounds, so it seems like he's doing most of the breeding down here, so I really would like to get him out. But he's disappeared off trail cam too. Although he appears in one of my videos a couple years ago around Thanksgiving, so it may be one of those buck migration and come back. But if he's been migrating for 6.5 years, he ain't been caught anywhere else either, so I'm hoping he comes back or one of the other ones shows up. Yesterday, just after 4 o'clock, I had one at the end of my sendero that looked to be pretty big-bodied, and I could only see what looked to be about a 9 or 10 inch tine on one side, and then I imagine he was checking the scent checking for the does because he was downwind, and he kind of just looked out there for a minute. There wasn't anything out there, and he left, and I never got him in the binoculars to get a good visual on him. But when I checked the trail cam last night, a couple new ones showed up. So according to the Drury app, every weekend, plus the 11 days I was on vacation, were either poor, bad, or okay. And then on Mondays, it gets good or great. And then I get all the trail cam pictures. And now this weekend, starting Friday afternoon, today, it goes back to being okay. And then it gets good again on Monday. I can't get things to time out just right, weather-wise. We lows in the 50s and highs in the 70s again this weekend, the weekend before Thanksgiving. So, last year we had an unusually cold November, but an unusually warm December. This year, the tail end of October got unusually cold, down in the 30s, and then November is warm. So, nothing else I can do but sit here and hunt. I mean, I can't, unless I go somewhere out of state. But anyway, it's Friday afternoon. We're going to see what happens. I brought my hotspot, got up in the deer stand, and I'm actually working the last hour of my work day. I drove down at lunch. So as soon as I log off, I'm already in my stand. Let's see if that pays off. He was here this morning. I had to work. But I'm off the next 2 days. Gee. Hey, you, no, well, no, you don't have to hang up just yet, because I'm about to get down out of my tree. I just shot one. No, not exactly. You'll have to tune into my YouTube channel and see when I get it edited. I filmed it. Yeah, I talked to him about the chestnuts. He sent me some pictures of his deer that they're bigger than this one I just shot. So, yeah, it's about a 4.5-year-old. It's a 4.5-year-old 7-pointer. I got a 6.5-year-old 7-pointer, and I got a 2.5-year-old 7-pointer. So I have big, little, and small. Big, medium, and small. I just shot medium 7, and I saw little 7 right afterwards. So. But I'm fixed to go down before it gets dark. Before it gets dark, I gotta go blood trail him, because there's a bigger deer than those 3 in here that was in here at 8 o'clock this morning. So I'm gonna try to get this out of here and clear the area and get ready for the morning. So I will call you back when I get a spot. Friend of yours, a friend of mine. All right, I'll talk to you later, Eddie. Bye. That's the downside of having cell coverage in your phone, but I can't turn down. I was talking to Eddie Elrod. He is, if you ever need timber cut, that's the guy to call. He is, you know, in middle Georgia, he is awesome. Anyway, now back to recovering my deer. Alright, that looks like about where he took off running. I can see where he kicked up a bunch of stuff, so, and I know he ran down that way. I could watch him from the stand. He kind of like angled like that, so right down in the briars. Oh, let's go dig in. Alright, it's starting to get a little bit darker. I found where the bullet hit and saw where he took off running, and I haven't gone 4 yards, and let me see here. Already got blood right there, so I mean, there's blood right there on that leaf. So, and where I shot him was right there. You can see where it kicked up. So, I mean, I got blood that fast. I think that's going to be a good sign. So, and when I reviewed the footage, it looked like I saw a good shot on him. So, I think we should be able to recover him fairly good. But I'm losing daylight, so let me get on him. Losing light, but yeah, that's blood right there. Turn my light on. Oh, I see some up on that leaf right up there. Okay. I see a faint little trail through there, and I knew he was running kind of to my right and a little bit curved back to me. Hopefully more back towards the road. Never did hear him pile up. Always like to hear him pile up, but oh boy, he gets thick down in there. That's probably where he went then. That's the way it always works. Well, I thought he was heading that direction over there, because that's the way he looked like he was turning out of the stand, but he's turning back on me here. I lost the blood trail for a second, but there we go. Got it back now. Alright, I'm back on track. And all these tall weeds and stuff out here, it's a lot harder to find the blood. Alright, stay on it. Alright, yeah, we got out of those weeds. That pine straw is a little easier to see. Okay. Down in those weeds, it just disappears, and I'm feeling a little better. But God, he ran through that stuff right there. He must be. If he ran through all that, he's running dead. I don't have my big spotlight. I think I see something low. I need to change the lights in my battery. Oh, there we go. I see belly. That's always a good sign. Oh, it's broke from behind. Oh yeah, I see antlers down there. Alright. Since this is a area that other one may come from, I'm going to go ahead and try to get him out of here. We'll film the recovery part later. The exit interview, so to speak. But let me see there. Let's see. Yep. He's down. Alright. I think that's middle 7. Okay. Alright, let me get him out of here before it gets too late. Alright, I'm going to leave one of my green flashlights over here in the woods. I'm going to go back and get the truck and see if I can't get the joker out of here. That'll make it easier to find him. Well, that was a good plan. Look down through the woods. I see a green light. I kind of fades out when you zoom in. When I first pulled the truck down in here, I thought it was deer eyes. It was my green headlight. I fooled myself. And put my mini D right there. That way I can find the truck. So I got to go from right there to right here, and I'll be home free. York's Deer Cooler, established in 1970. I normally come up here and Vera gives me a hard time, but she's not up here tonight, so even though she gives me a hard time, I keep coming back anyway. But I was called from Talbot County. I was they're up in Barnesville, so I don't know how many miles that is, but they stayed open for me, and so I always bring my deer here to York's. I appreciate y'all staying open for me and even let me sing my song.
You're welcome.
So this is not a paid advertisement. If you kill a deer anywhere in the middle of Georgia, Barnesville area, come to York's. They'll do good, and my wife loves their sausage. So
yes, sir.
all right. Well, my job here is done. I'm going home and take a shower.
All right.
This hunting by yourself is a lot of work. But hey, it's great exercise.
Oh, yes.
All right. Well, I got one more tag. Hopefully I'll see y'all later on.
All righty.
All right. Bye, y'all. Say bye, y'all.
Bye.
All right. All right. This has been my home away from home. My stepdaughter had a positive COVID test, so I've been staying out here in the camper, and so I took off at lunchtime down to my hunting property and took my laptop and my my air card over to the stand. Logged off at 4 o'clock. At 4:45, I shot this guy, but I was down there by myself, and the deer processor was about 60 miles away, and they were going to stay open for me, and I had to go drive the truck between some, glad my wife didn't see that, through some trees. Only had like 2 inches of clearance on each side, but I made it, didn't break any mirrors, and got as close as I could. I had a hand truck with me because driving the golf cart down there while they clear cut, I was afraid was going to give away my position, and so I've been taking a stealthy approach. But I didn't even get the golf cart out. I was able to, the hand truck out, where Jacob and I had driven the golf cart. We knocked down some stuff when we were trying to get out some deer stands in preparation for the clear cut and all. So I did manage to get this guy out pretty good, but I've already taken him to the processor so that they wouldn't close up on me, and so I did not get an exit interview or a after the shot kind of interview. But this guy here, I've not seen him on trail camera. He's got looks like he's trying to get a little point out there on the end. He's got a couple of times, pretty decent on mass. And then over here, he's your standard G2 and G3 coming up off the main beam, but he's actually fairly thick. So in any event, he's in the books now, and I guess I can't tell any more story. You saw me shoot him, so but anyway, I'm taking my laptop to the deer stand this afternoon. Thank goodness for the bluebird skies, and paid off for me. So anyway, I still have another tag, and I've got hamburgers waiting on me, and I've got him already in the cooler. So I'm gonna say until next time, I'll see all you turkeys on the next video.